Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. Got this crazy project that I'm working on. Let me give you a little backstory. There are some events that we want to take Abel to, and in order to do that we need to do a small upgrade on his plumbing system. So we need a gray water tank because we have a shower and a sink inside the shelter, and normally where we go it's very remote and we just drain to the ground. I mean, it's just camp shower water, basically like taking an outdoor shower. Anyhow, if you go to like Burning Man or Beyond Wonderland or some of those events and utilize their camping areas, they don't want you dumping gray water to the ground. So long story short, called around to a bunch of places. The prices were astronomical. Buying sheets of 3/8 HDPE and a welding gun and all this other stuff, it started to add up to these costs. And then I started thinking about what material do I have around here that I can utilize to build one of these tanks. And so this is what I came up with. Some of you may remember my snowcat build from 2020, the pandemic project. I had all this stainless left over. So I've got some pretty big pieces, not one piece being 100% complete for what I need to do except for the sides. I think I can make the sides with this. But I'm gonna have to do some overlap welding on some of these pieces. The other fun thing is I'm way out of practice on my TIG. So, I mean, the welds that you're gonna see in here are not gonna be perfect by any means of the imagination. And TIG welding is my arch nemesis. I'm not the greatest at it. And when I do it and get good at it, it's for small projects like these, and then I'm out of practice right away. The other thing I'm going to do, just to ensure that my crappy welds don't leak, is I'm going to build the bottom tray first and then seam seal it with Sikaflex 221. Got a couple tubes of that. I think I spent like $50 on fittings and Sikaflex, and I found this, amazingly, these things are pretty expensive, but I found this one on Amazon, open box, for $285. And this is a 10 gauge shear, and it will do stainless. So I bought it. I tried it out a little bit yesterday. You can see it makes some pretty good cuts. I still have to adjust the blade a little bit. It's leaving just a little bit of a sharp edge there. But yeah, I just played around with it yesterday for a little bit. Basically the tank is going to end up being about 60 by 31 by 7, which gives us about 57 gallons of gray water capacity. That should be good for at least a week for 2 people. And that's kind of what we're after. So I don't know how much of this I'm going to film. I might just update you in little segments. The TIG welding obviously is going to take the longest. Yeah, and it's going to be a period of filming over multiple days, obviously, because I got to wait for Sikaflex to dry and then water test it for 24 hours and then put the lid on it and all this good stuff. But anyhow, let's get started. We got a pile of scrap here. We got our sides. We've got remnants. We've got the bottom, and we've got the top. And if you're wondering, yes, it's gonna look kind of like a patchwork quilt, where I'm gonna do some overlap splices on these, because this is the stainless that I have left. I didn't have enough to do all in one piece on the bottom. So yeah, we're gonna go through some argon, that's for sure. But it should work out just fine, because you're never gonna see the top and the bottom. The only thing you're gonna see are the sides. This side in particular is the side that you will see for the space that I have on the truck. And then I ended up having these two pieces that I didn't use, so I have some more stainless for another project. Gonna do a little bit of a cleanup, get the TIG rolled over, get it set up, and then we're gonna start patching these pieces together and see where we can go from there. Well guys, we are moving right along. This took me about 2 hours to get to this point. And once again, the welds are not pretty, but they'll be functional, and I'm going to seam seal the inside of this regardless, so it should work out. I've got to come up with some baffles, I think. I'm gonna put like a cross. I'm not 100% certain. Just to reinforce it and to hold the lid up so I can weld the lid on. But once I get the cross pieces in here and welded in, then I can seam seal this, get the fittings welded in, and then seam seal it. And then tomorrow I can test it for leaks. If it doesn't leak, dump the water out of it, and then move forward with welding the lid on. Well, here we are back at Hodgepodge Garage with my not so beautiful, fantastic TIG welds. And then I transferred over to the MIG and made even some more mess right here. Yep. Beautiful stuff, I'm telling you. I've got the base of it done. So what I'm going to do now is run Sikaflex on all the seams on the inside. We got to wait a little bit till tomorrow. Fill it up with water, see if it leaks. If it leaks, the whole thing's going in the trash can. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Turning scrap into time-wasting scrap. Let's keep going. Okay, I hit every single weld and seam inside of the tank. So now we just gotta wait till tomorrow to give it a test. See you tomorrow. Good morning, guys. We're back. All the Sikaflex is pretty much cured, hard as a rock. Took some measurements this morning. I'm gonna have to do a test fit on the truck. I think we're right at the limits of how tall we can be with this. So I'm gonna have to inset the lid instead of laying it across the top and just welding it. I'm gonna have to set it inside there so I don't gain any more height, but I'm gonna verify that here after I get the truck moved around and open up this area here and try and slide it in. I want to see if I have any wiggle room, or if it's just tight as all get out. I may have to cut a small sliver off of the top edge and then weld the cover on, but I won't know until we do a little test fit. So I got to get the truck moved around. We'll get a little test fit going and then we'll move forward. Well, it's not perfect, but I think it's gonna work. I did end up having to cut maybe like, I don't know, 3/16 of an inch around the top, just so I had a little bit of wiggle room to get it in there. It was pretty tight. So I did that before we welded that cover on. Stainless likes to twist and warp and do all kinds of fun stuff while you're welding it. So I did get it finished. It is ready to slide into that space on the truck. We did test fit it before we put it up there and welded the cover on. But yeah, let's try to get this installed on the truck now. You guys are gonna love this. This thing fits in there like a glove. Look at that. So the drain is gonna be right here. I've got a ball valve for that. I'm gonna put some supports right here. This thing fits in here so awesome. So this is the drain side coming from the shelter going into there. I have another one of these fittings that goes right there, and then I'm just going to take a preformed radiator hose and just connect it to that, and then that's a breather valve right there. Not that it needs one, there's probably a million pinholes in this thing, but yeah, 57 gallons fits in there perfect. I've just got to weld a couple brackets, drill a couple holes, put some hardware on it, and this project will be complete. Except for this, I'm waiting for the Sikaflex to dry on it. I had to cut the old assembly off and I just glued this on there, so that'll have to wait to get hooked up another day. But yeah, this is awesome. All right, guys. Got that bracket welded on there and through bolted it right to that beam all the way inside there. Did that on both sides. That guy there ends up right there. So yeah, just got to hook the hose up to it. Should be a done deal. But I think that's probably going to be it for this episode, guys. If you like this episode, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed yet, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. I will leave links in the description for the Makita shears in case any of you want to get in on that deal. But other than that, I hope you guys are staying safe, taking care of each other, and as always, I will catch you next time. See you later. Bye-bye.